How far? 7? Okay.
Well, here we are. His name will be polio. that's a disease. Wait. I don't know, I feel like fucking god.
I feel like fucking a god.
Yes. Yeah, let me change the name of Nidoran female, please.
Yeah,
I'm not a bottom.
Are you sure you're not a bottom?
Yes, I'm never on the bottom.
I mean, so far.
True, actually.
I'm Freddy Fazbear.
Oh, hold that off.
What a flattering angle for Parappa.
Dude, I'm presenting my ass.
Dinosaur presenting ass? What?
Maria!
Wow, this game's so cool. You could change the AI level up to 20, and that shit was fucking ridiculous. Like look at how the king of Five Nights at Freddy's did. And that wasn't even all the deaths in that video. Yes.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Where's that motherfucking goddamn shit-ass motherfucker? Oh, damn, Johnny. Damn.
2 bomb ups. Oh shit.
Is he just dead?
Like,
I fucked up. We'll pick Knuckles. No, that's Amy! This is the best scene in the game, though.
He just kicked his ass worse than he did Silver.
Chaos Control!
No.
What did I say? White is tight.
White is alright.
Racism.
Okay.
White wasn't right.
White was not right.
Just like in real life. Are you gonna trust that, or are you gonna trust the whites again?
I never trusted the whites.
You should have
trusted
trusted them.
wrong.
Oh no!
Dude, oh, we need the pumpkins, dude. I think about all the iron golems we can
Ooh,
make.
is that a? That's a big fucking Weedle.
Where? I want to see it.
Look at this tree.
Holy shit!
Show me the last Pokemon. I want to know what it is. Can't escape. Bitch, I'm trapping.
I love how the Fall Guy one moves.
I don't care what port I'm playing. I just want to play the normal game. The best version of the game is to get the PC version and add the Dreamcast conversion. They are kind of... Well, it could be worse. You could be playing Adventure 2. Sonic
the
Token?
music isn't half bad in this game, though.
The music is really good. It just doesn't fit.
Some defense squads for the defense squad.
That's one of the worst lines in this fucking game.
It was horrible. Is this like a spoiled brat grandkid hating his grandparent?
You should have bought me Fortnite V-Bucks, say Grandma. Why are you going... What the fuck? You bitch. Oh my god. What pathing are you taking, sir? No, fucking... Why? Alright, I'm not doing this mission. Okay, so if he needs to take this fucking potion over here, why wouldn't he just go down and then to the left instead of forward around pillars that don't need to be walked around? Oh my god.
That's your second lucky space.
It is. I'm so lucky.
A golden pipe!
A golden pipe!
Yes.
Hidden
Oh my
block?
god.
Oh my
No
god.
way.
Hidden block?
Yeah! Oh, you...
No!
No. I have the emeralds. Fuck you, Sonic.
I'm making a helmet first. Cool.
Yeah, we're very easily sleeping. It's called we have multiple people streaming. We have multiple people here to be the donation reader.
I'm sleeping right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired myself, Moon.
Tired of...
Tired of your shit?
The song's kind of nice, though. Okay, I can check Foxy. Didn't even move yet.
Oh, hurry up. Yep. Oh, shit. No!
Is that a Minecraft creeper in my Twitch chat right now?
It's alright, Jordan, it's Pokemon. They don't have feelings.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
How come
It's not
they...
even true. But in the anime, I saw them. Pikachu cried.
But in
said, it's because I love you.
It's because I love you.
It's oh my bad.
Aren't you a true fan? God.
Dude,
You clearly don't love Pokemon.
Dude, you got me. I'm like I'm speechless right now. You got me all flustered.
Fake fan. Skydeck is kind of fun. I think Skydeck is a good level. Has a good song though. Like the songs in this soundtrack is really good. Oh my god, so much fucking money. This game's easy. $792. Wee. Hello. Hi, I am here. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. We're live on both. Hello. How are we doing today? Keep forgetting, I need to look all the way over here to look at my Twitch chat. So it's pretty rough. Pretty rough. I also didn't prepare everything fully because I just kind of forgot what I was doing. So I'm gonna prepare some of the rest of the stuff and then we'll get started on what we're doing today. Okay. Okay. So sorry if you hear keyboard clacks. Let's add. Okay. All right, and then. Okay, here, let's see. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, yeah, it's just gonna be a second, and then we'll all get going here. Okay. These are going to be very specific. Oop, there we go. Okay. We are prepared now, or we should be fully prepared. So, yeah. Let's just move on over to this. Okay, let me know if you want me to zoom in closer. Honestly, I probably can. Like out one, yeah. Okay. Here we are. I could also move the camera back because I'm not playing Paper Mario anymore. No, please. Please, thank you. Alright, let's scooch this back up. There we go. Perfect. That should be in place now. So here we are. I'm curious to try this format rather than doing the listed one of worst to best, because I think this one could make for more funny, for more little silly anecdotes, but we'll see. We can just go ahead. Honestly, yeah, we can just kind of go ahead and get started. There's not going to be any music or anything going on, so I can have an easier time editing. Let's just start off. Let me see where I can put the camera. So I can put the camera in a better spot here. No, it's actually fine the way it is. Okay. Sorry, pre-exposed, not exposed, but just adjustments going on. Whatever. Sorry, I just got off of work and I was like, I want to get this filming done and stream it because I think this would be a fun thing to do. But let's just start off. We'll go in order and we will start off with Astrobot. So Astrobot was a game that kind of came out of nowhere, came out of left field for me. I think I remember it being announced that Astro was getting a full game. Astro's Playroom is a great pre-installed game that comes with your PlayStation 5s. Astrobot is a full adventure based on the character Astro that was in that Playroom demo that was also in the PS4 VR Astrobot Rescue Mission. In that game, I never played that. But Astrobot getting his full game, just wow. 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 They did it. They made a good fucking video game on the PS5, which notoriously has no games. Yeah, Astrobot is just a fun time from start to finish. It is a monumental achievement that a AAA platformer of this type can be made on Sony platforms. We get AAA platformers from like Mario and stuff. That is pretty much all we see from the AAA platforming space. We only ever see like Mario and maybe some 2D platformers. But the 3D scope of platformers is like gone super down. It's not happening as much. You get Sonic, which isn't even AAA at this point, and you get Mario. Those are your two big 3D platforming guys right there. But then Astrobot comes along and absolutely nails it. Absolutely nails everything it wants to do. All the references in this game were really cool to kind of figure out because as someone who's watched way too many YouTube gaming videos, it's fun to kind of try to tickle the old trivia brain and try to figure out who these characters are. And it in the way Astrobot does it, where they're like just kind of hidden in the standard levels, but are like just a few of the little surprises. And most of what you're going to be rescuing are the regular white robots, but the cameos being able to be rescued and put in like fun spots that are somewhat related to the characters that you unlock and get to see in the hub world. It's super fun. It is fantastic. And it has, I think, some of the best representation of PlayStation out there. It is not depressing to me. A lot of people are like, this is depressing. We don't have these games anymore. I don't think this was made in that aspect. And yes, a lot of those games do not exist anymore. But I'm looking at it as the developers, Team Asobi, just really, really value video game preservation. I guess preservation not specifically, but references and characters are preserved, and their history is preserved in this game. Pretty much, they just care about video games and video game history and just enjoying like the simple things that you can get from games. You know what I mean? Yeah, Astrobot is one of the best games I've played this year. I'm just like, we're going to start out strong out the gate. Astrobot is fantastic. It is not the best game I've played, though. So it's going to the 9.5 out of 10 territory. The 9.5 to 10 out of 10 territory. By the way, we're going Best game I played all year, 9.5 to 10 out of 10, 8.5 to 9 out of 10, 7.5 to 8 out of 10, 6.5 to 7, and then 6, and then the worst game. Because realistically, I only played one game that's worse than a 6 out of 10. Alright, so with this next one that is showing up here, I think we're just going to go ahead and do the bundle. And just wow, I am awestruck by this game. Persona 3 Reload has one of the best stories I've ever experienced in fiction, and I've experienced it through Persona 3 Portable before I played Reload, but it got me super emotional in Portable. But Reload, the way that they took that and gave the extra budget, they gave the extra presentation that Atlus has like learned over time and put it into Persona 3 Reload. Yo. Wow. Just wow, man. It's fantastic. I cried like 3 or 4 separate times playing this game, and it is just a testament to how good this like character writing and storytelling is in Persona 3 Reload. It is fantastic. And I'm super excited to play through it again. The visuals are top-notch, the music is amazing, the character designs are great, the combat has been thoroughly improved and way smoother. See, I'm like talking like I'm reading a script. The combat has been incredibly improved and is a lot smoother now than it was in like the PS2 games. Not that I think the tactics menu in the PS2 game was a bad idea. I thought it was kind of cool, and a lot of people liked it. But in order for more audiences to experience the story and what it can tell, dude, it's a masterpiece. This is a story that is sticking with me throughout the years of my life. This is sticking to my core. This is going to be a part of me. It is a part of my person, and if you don't like it, hit subscribe anyway. Do it, please. Please. That one was for the video Twitch. That one was for the YouTube video. Yeah. Persona 3 Reload is the best game I played all year. It had heavy competition partway through. I've played a lot of games this year, but Persona 3 Reload just consumed me. It was so much of my time went to Persona 3. It was insane, and it wasn't time I felt like was wasted, because it's a story I already cared about, told in a better way that made me feel emotional again, and I could not put it down. And now let's talk about the next thing. Persona 3 Reload's DLC episode Aigis. A lot of people don't like this DLC. A lot of people don't like the Aigis story from FES anyway. There's a lot of things in this DLC that are just inherently incorrect and kind of corrupt to do. $35 for a DLC expansion pass? No. And the reason they did that is because they included costumes and music and extra things alongside the games, like the DLC story. So, realistically, with all the packs that were included, it's like $15 of extra fluff. Episode Aigis could have been released on its own for $20. It would have been seen in a much higher light. It would have been so much more like well received, and it would have been just a better experience for everybody. That being said, even though I paid $35, I paid the full price to play Episode Aigis on launch, even though like I did that, and again, I think at most, Episode Aigis should have been $20, because putting it in with the season pass was kind of stupid, Atlus. I don't know what the hell you were doing with that. I'd still give this game a high endorsement. I give it like a 9. I give it like a 9. And the follow-up story to it, I think, adds to Persona 3 Reload. Like, these two are now a complete package to me. And I think that's important to kind of like think about when you're playing DLCs. If they add to the overall package, like, is that like where you get your value from them? And to me, Episode Aigis is a great follow-up to the end of the original game. I will be not doing I cannot talk. I will not be showing story spoilers in the YouTube video. We're just gonna have gameplay from Episodigus, and you're probably gonna be seeing Episodigus gameplay for the one, like I talk about Reload in that video, but I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm doing fully with that yet. Sorry, I needed a sip. Needed a sip of water. Anyway, up next, Nintendo had a classic on my radar, and this is a game I've played when I was a child. I played this game when I was a little kid, a little stupid, dumb baby. And this is Mario Kart Double Dash, and the only reason this is on here is because I 100%ed the game for the first time this year. I 100%ed the game for the first time, and Mario Kart Double Dash, it's kind of like peak. I don't think it's above Episodigus, but it's kind of peak. 9 out of 10 for me for Mario Kart Double Dash 100%. It's not easy. It is a difficult 100% to get. The CPUs are relentless, and you have to really, really learn the game to actually get through the 150cc cups and higher in first place on all races, or just first place in like general. You need to have good team synergy, recognize what team items are probably the best to use, and recognize what carts are the best to use. And you unlock kind of the best carts when you get to the 150cc stuff. So, like right after 100cc, they're kind of preparing you. They're like preparing you for the rest of the game, and it gets tough. It gets really tough. But I got PD Piranha, I got King Boo, I got the trophy cart, I got it all 100%. I got it all done, and honestly, it made me realize just how well crafted Mario Kart Double Dash is to its core. Like, there's only 16 tracks. There's not as much as there is in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but all the tracks feel perfectly designed for how the game controls. Once you learn the game's controls, you recognize the limits of the carts, what they can and can't do, and when you should be drifting and when you should not be drifting. It feels great, and when you can reliably get multiple mini boosts off by doing multiple drifts in one turn, figuring that out, great feeling. It is a fantastic feeling. I need another drink. I'm talking a lot. Ooh. Okay. So this game is recent. This is very recent, and I picked it up because, goddamn it looked pretty damn fun. And you know what? It is. It is. I'm currently riding this high a little more, so I'm just going to put it along the same. We're doing a lot of heavy hitters out in the beginning, the 9 out of 10s. So we got Marvel Rivals right here. And Marvel Rivals, oh, this game is fun. So do you remember like the golden age days of playing Overwatch when it came out, Overwatch 1, or just going into like kind of the mid to late level Overwatch where more abilities and reworks kind of happened, and you still had 6v6 without roll queue, I guess? I don't know. I don't know exactly how to word it. There's a specific feel of gameplay from the 6v6 structure that Overwatch did that started to go away the more the game got updated and switched over to Overwatch 2. Marvel Rivals is bringing me that feeling back. And again, it's early, so it could have bad changes that kind of lead up to the game's downfall. But based on the updates that the developers are giving us, it looks like it's going the opposite direction of Overwatch, where it's leaning heavily on its gimmick of team abilities where that can affect team synergy. And when they add more team abilities with more team synergies, in that kind of idea, it kind of pushes further the implication that we don't need role queues. Anyone can pick any character, and you can come up with many different strategies, because all Roll Q does is kind of limit your strategies to the same few things. Even if you have a ton of different DPS strategies you could go for, a ton of different utilities that other characters have, overall, in Overwatch with Roll Qs, you are going to be relying on some of the same strategies over and over again, which isn't a bad thing. But again, having the player expression in Marvel Rivals, and with how the characters just feel to play in that game, it is some of the most fun I've had in an online game in a while, specifically when it comes to like shooters, I guess. Because there's another game on this list that is super fun online with people, and we'll talk about it. You probably saw it or see it right now, but we'll talk about it here in a second. All right, so this next one we're going to be talking about is DLC. But we're going to put this one up first. It is the Pokemon Scarlet DLC Part 1, the Teal Mask. The Teal Mask, the more I think about the Teal Mask, the worse it gets. It's not a bad DLC. I had a fun time with it overall. It's just not super interesting. It just kind of takes you to a new, smaller region to catch Pokemon that have been added to the game, and then there's a slight story to it with a few new legendaries to catch. And I caught them all. This got me to finish the Pokedex in Paldea and in the other two DLCs. So I was pushed to do it. But overall, this DLC is just alright. I think it's not bad. It's like a 7, though. It is not the best thing in the world. It is just a new region with some new things going on. You know, it's neat. But overall, I think it's not the most interesting gameplay-wise. It doesn't really add too much to it to make it cut into two parts, I guess. Also, the story of this DLC is kind of shit. I hate it. I kind of hate the story. It kind of goes nowhere for most of it, and then it goes everywhere at the end, and then it sets up for the next DLC. And that is kind of all that I think about the Teal Mask. It is a 7 out of 10, maybe higher on a good day, but no, I'm feeling a strong 7. And then we get to the Indigo Disc, the second part of the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And the Indigo Disc is like an 8. It's pretty good. So the gimmick of the Indigo Disc is that you were invited to a new academy. I forget what it's called. It's like Blueberry or something. You go into a new academy where they have their own biome research, like wild area type thing, where there's a huge dome, 4 different biomes that cover different landscape types. You got mountains, you got snow, you've got swamp, and you've got like savanna. And they all have different Pokemon in them in specific spots of those areas, and are kind of, I don't know why this biome like dome was built, but it's kind of cool. It's pretty neat that they have this. It's a huge area. It's not even like small. It's like massive, and you can get so many different Pokemon there, and they're cool Pokemon too. There's like, once you get to the point where you can get all the starters, and I can't remember exactly everything that goes on in this. I know the story is a little more interesting. It requires you to play the game more than the first part did. But I guess there's one thing I should probably bring up for both of these, and we'll get to that in a second. But But the little missions you can do on the hub were fun. The little things that you could do with, like in terms of like, see, I'm like trying to fully explain how this DLC went. I have not played this in months. It has been a long time. I just know that the collection of everything was enjoyable. Doing all of that was great. And getting all the Pokemon was fun. The battles were interesting. They weren't super hard. They got a little difficult. But then we get to the final part of the DLC. The last thing I want to talk about for both DLCs, I'm going to talk about this both at the same time because both the stories are linked. Kieran is one of the worst Pokemon characters I have ever seen. And the funny thing is, he's terrible in a funny way. That motherfucker is trying to be so edgy, and he just looks like a dumb idiot. He looks so fucking stupid. The way he's trying to like get his hair all down, like in a fucking man bun, like pulled to the back. The way the character fucking looks already was dumb. But then he tried to change his hair and become the best at this academy, and like at this prestigious academy, tried to become the best Pokemon trainer just to beat you and earn fucking whatever the legendary's name is in the teal mask. He's just trying to prove that he deserves the friend that you took from him. But even you still beat his ass at the end. And it's very funny. It's very funny. But then I had the opposite reaction to his sister. I think her name's Carmen. I did not like Carmen at first. I thought Kieran was okay. I didn't really care for Kieran that much at first, and then it got worse. I didn't like Carmen at all at first. And then as time went on, she started to grow on me a little bit. I think her design is still dumb. I don't like her design at all. But I think her character was kind of fun. I mean, it was kind of like... It went from a battle-hungry, like, sociopath to an older sister that realized, oh, my brother is going through shit. And it hurts to see. And that's cool. But Kieran is a fuck. Like, I don't give a shit about Kieran. Are you kidding me? That kid's stupid. That kid's dumb as hell. All right. I feel so burpy. I'm sorry. I was trying to be more prepared for this, but I'm not. Hopefully I can talk. Hopefully this doesn't sound bad in the video. I can easily cut it and make it work. Let's see here. This game is fantastic too. I played all the way through The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask for the first time this year, and for the first time, I mean I beat the entire game for the first time. I've played this before, but I didn't beat it. And I beat it this year, and I gotta say, it's a great game. Maybe not a 9.5, maybe a 9, probably above Marvel Rivals, maybe above Double Dash. I'll probably put it there. And the only reason it doesn't beat Episode Igus is that Episode Igus made me cry, so I think I have to keep that above it. God, excuse me. But The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is a game that prides itself in its world building. And just after the prologue, really lets you kind of explore. The dungeons and how the story goes through with the dungeons can be kind of linear. You can skip around a little bit, do stuff out of order. If you wanted to, just damage properties will make that a little difficult. But overall, the game's dungeon structure is pretty linear. That being said, the game's world structure and all the extra stuff you can do Only some things are locked behind the basic game progression. And everything you can do is done on specific timed schedules during the infamous 3-day cycle. Yep, Majora's Mask has the 3-day cycle. These burps need to stop happening when I'm trying to talk. Oh, God. I'm just going to let them sit for a minute. Jesus. Okay. But yeah, this game has a 3-day cycle, and by God, does it use it to its fullest effect. It was something that stressed out a lot of players, apparently, and some people just couldn't grasp the time limit being a thing. But overall, Majora's Mask uses its 3-day structure, 3-day time limit to its advantage in terms of how the game works. And once you understand kind of how the Song of Time will do, how the Song of Time will work, and Song of Inverted Time and Song of Double Time, once you kind of realize how those work, the game becomes so much more manageable. And just remember that you can reset time at any moment. So if you mess up at any point and you don't feel like you're managing your time well, you can reset it from the very start of the first day and just run it back. Yeah, you'll have to redo stuff. You'll have to redo stuff, especially for certain side quests. But Bible. Thanks, Danny. How did you do that? Is that an emote? But yeah, but overall, Majora's Mask is very well... It's well done. It is... Okay, I cannot get my thoughts out cohesively right now because I'm burping and I'm tired. But yeah, Majora's Mask is straight up like it's just like a straight up 9 out of 10 game for me. It's very fun the whole time. I had a great time. Is it a 9.5? No. I was thinking about it. I think when I finished it, I wrote down in my notes that I thought it was like a 9.5, but then I'm thinking about it now. It's a 9. It's a great game. It is a fantastic game. I've now beaten 2 Zelda games, this one and A Link Between Worlds, and they're both very good. I have to be in a specific mood for these, but they're both very good. All right. It says add in progress, so I'm going to let that finish. Unless the ads aren't rolling through for people. But I'm going to let the ad play. Give my voice a little bit of a break. And then once the ads stop, we'll go back to it. I hate Twitch's ads. I hate them. They're terrible. Twitch ads suck. God. Oh, it's getting to my gassy gas system. It's getting rough. Oh, excuse me. Damn, ads take so long on Twitch. This is sucky. What? Oh, excuse me. All right, the ad break's over. It says so. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. It says the ad break's over. Then the ad break's over. Lethal Company. We did a video. We did a video on this game on the main channel, and I learned after uploading that video, I did not even scratch the surface of Lethal Company. I still have barely touched this after that video, and I think that's a problem, and that needs to be addressed. And it will. I promise there's a Lethal Company video coming out this year, because this video will be uploaded in 2025. This will be the first video of 2025. But yeah, Lethal Company is it's so fun. It's so stupid. It's just like it's dumb stupidity, fun, dumb bullshit that is scary to its peak. It is the peak of like scary, funny bullshit. It is awesome. I fucking love kind of how like ridiculous you and your friends can die in this game, and how actually scary going in to these abandoned warehouses is, and how corrupt the company is great. No, I think I gotta put it under Marvel Rivals because I played more of Marvel Rivals than Lethal Company. But again, that's gonna change. We're definitely gonna play more. Lethal Company is just like, it was a game that had a vision. It has a very distinct style. It has a very simple gameplay loop, but it's one that you and your friends can do over and over and over till you either fail or until you like are done for the night or whatever. It is so like just fun. One, it's fun to play just in general. The gameplay of it is simple, but just kind of going in and some of the intricacies with going into these abandoned warehouses and grabbing the items out. There's some intricacies to specific things that can go on in there, but overall, like just grabbing the stuff and bringing it back while trying to survive and getting a ton of money out of it to upgrade stuff and eventually go to scarier places to get even more money, all while trying to make quota, or else you'll die by the hands of the company. That's funny. That's really funny. Great indie game, great multiplayer game, one of the best like online multiplayer things that I've played. I have Marvel Rivals above it, but that's literally only because I've played it more. This is definitely more unique. All right. So, back on to the topic of multiplayer. Overwatch 2, it's like a 6, man. I played a ton of Overwatch 1. I have hundreds of hours in Overwatch 1 in total, and as someone who has a lot of hours in Overwatch 1, I wouldn't even give Overwatch 1 like a 9. Definitely when I first started playing it, I'd probably think it's a 9, which is why Marvel Rivals is there now, because that's kind of where I'm feeling with Marvel Rivals. But as time went on, Overwatch 2 was kind of like an 8 out of 10. It was like a super enjoyable game I could play with people, play with friends online, and kind of just vibe and play and enjoy. Play the silly characters that I like to play. Overwatch 2, literally it changed the entire dynamic of how the entire game even functions, simply because they got rid of one character slot. One character slot. They got rid of one of the tank slots, which means that tanks only get one playable character. You get 2 DPS, you get 2 supports, and you get 1 tank. That one tank needs to carry hard. It makes a weird, unbalanced feeling towards the team, like the team divide. So your 2 supports always got kind of each other's backs. You know, one support's like the main, and then you got the flex. You got like the other support that can either do overall AoE
or they can do something like specific heals or like specific status you can apply, or just extra utility given through a support. That is what makes them good. That's what makes like having the main support and the flex support work. Same with DPS. You have a flanker, where you can have a flanker, you can have line of sight. You have a lot of options for DPS, and you can make. And having two makes it to where not all the work revolves around one getting the kills. They both kind of have to do work to get the results they want. This one change to tanks, this removing one tank slot because nobody wanted to fucking play tank, completely ruined how tanks work. Not ruined, it completely changed how tanks work. And I'm not a fan of it personally. So, just by sheer virtue of how tanks work, some tanks just aren't good. And I know, like, you're going to be switching a lot when you're playing tank because you're the only fucking one. But just in general, some tanks just aren't good. And it's simply because there's only fucking one. So you're mainly going to be wanting tanks that are super defensive for the whole team and can push relatively well. And the problem with that is that there's only a few that really fill this hole. Like, they all have defensive abilities in some way, shape, or form, but as much as D.Va gets good damage out, that APM doesn't last long. And if you don't have anyone that can take out your picks successful, like that can take picks out of a team fight successfully while you have to go take care of a sniper that might be being a fuck, then you're not gonna then your team's just gonna get wiped because they have a tank and they have a bunch of defense. It's just weird. It's just a weird decision because D.Va really thrived off of getting the snipers and getting like the ranged people out. That was the whole kind of thing. That was the flex tank thing that for D.Va. Her damage output was great. She could get in the face of other people that were trying to take picks off of the other team. She was a great all-around kind of like all-around tank to fly around and do stuff with. Now, there are significant risks with her that can't really be covered unless you completely switch the character you're playing. Same goes for characters like Winston. He can't really do a lot of like really good stuff. He has a shield. It's not strong. He has a lot of health. But his weapon isn't strong enough to really do anything with it. His ult, he pushes people around. It doesn't work as well when it's one tank. And even if like the meta completely like changed and like maybe Winston is like top tier right now, I don't really care. I don't care about that. What I care about is the gameplay balance. And to me, playing the character that jumps forward and like goes really far and uses an electric gun that barely does damage but peeks through shields with having less characters with shields, man, it doesn't, I just don't, it's just confusing. I don't get it. I don't like it. It's still only a 6 out of 10 because the game's still fun. You can still have an enjoyable time playing the game, but that huge shift is like, it feels like something's off to me. And it's just a problem. I don't know. It feels like a problem. It doesn't feel like it should be that way, but it is. And I just kind of have to deal with it. I'm burping so much. So if you're watching this video and my head is tilted a lot, I have problems when I burp. And I'm putting that in the video because I'm tired of having to work around my burps. When I don't talk, it doesn't happen. And then I can just like sit back, everything's fine, maybe move my neck muscles a bit, feel better. But when I start talking, this happens like when I read scripts too. When I'm talking, I'll burp, and then it messes me up. It's insane. I don't know if I'm keeping this whole spiel in the video. I might just keep that one part in, but I just need to vent my frustration out to somebody. To the nobodies that are watching. Okay. Okay. God damn. Metal Slug X. I played this year. It was the first game I really finished this year. That's just because I bought it on the Arcade Archives on the Switch. Played it for an hour because you have infinite credits on the Switch. And Metal Slug games are very hard. They're very hard. But when you have infinite credits, they're not very hard. You can beat them pretty easily. And Metal Slug, I'm probably not the best judge for this. Metal Slug's a great game. I love Metal Slug games. I played Metal Slug 3 as well. I love Metal Slug. It's one of my favorites. It's like my favorite SNK property. I think Metal Slug is very cool. There's a lot of interesting artwork, a lot of interesting sprite work. The music's great. It's just everything about Metal Slug I love. Sound effects, how the voice, like the voice samples or like whatever. He says heavy machine gun. Who doesn't love heavy machine gun? It's just a fun game. I don't know. I think Metal Slug 3 is better. I like Metal Slug 3 more. Metal Slug 1 is okay. Metal Slug X is a good game. I had a fun time with it. I'm glad I played it. Not putting it above the Indigo Disc, though, because the Indigo Disc took my life away for a little bit. Jesus. Alright, and this one is very specifically just the main game here. Cuphead is like an 8. I like Cuphead. I think it's a good game. I love the art style. I love the music. I think it's fantastic. Just the way the game's presentation looks. The way the game presents itself. Brilliant. The boss fights, pretty damn fun. But it's only like an 8 because it's not the most interesting game in the world outside of its art style and presentation. And don't get me wrong, as someone that loves stylization, do not get me wrong. As someone who loves stylization in video games, Cuphead A+ in that tier. A+, like super high up. Great stuff. It's a game that is filled with just pure love for the 1930s style of animation and pure respect for it as well. With fantastic original character designs like Cuphead and Mugman, instant classic characters. They are just great looking. Everything about them is really good. The bosses are great. The aesthetics that are in everything are great. I didn't play the Delicious Last Course. But goddamn, those run and gun stages can be a little frustrating. Literally, this is a game where I don't think there's much wrong with it. I think any complaints that I really have are kind of nitpicky and aren't really anything that amount to the game's quality or other people's thoughts or my thoughts on the game. They're just like slight things I could poke at, and I can't even think of anything right now about it. It's just specifically, this game does what it did very well. But that's kind of it. Like, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't go much higher than that. It's just good. It's just good at what it is, good at what it does. In fact, I'll even give him credit. I'll put it up to 8.5. It's good at what it does. It is very fun. It is very good presentation, very good music. Literally, it is great at everything it does, but it is not a genre that I go back to all that much. Even though I like Metal Slug, it's not a genre I'm proficient enough at, and it's a game that doesn't excel and just go to my brain as one of those games that is immediately like, oh yes, this is like mind-blowing. You know, Astrobot to me had a bunch of different ideas and stuff that made it mind-blowing. It was a fantastic time. It kept coming up with new things that kept it going. And that kind of kept you surprised throughout the entire thing. And made you kind of wondering what you were going to see next. Kind of made you excited for what kind of levels you'd play. What the bosses were going to be. Astrobot did all of that fantastically. Cuphead did the same kind of thing with like boss designs. How are they going to be? All that. But it didn't add many new things as it went on. It was kind of like new arenas for new bosses. Cool. Some of them had new mechanics that are based on the old mechanics. Like parrying is a heavy thing in a lot of bosses, but... Well, no, parrying isn't... Whatever. Parrying is a heavy thing that all the bosses have, but it depends on what boss it is that could make the parry do something different. If you know what I mean? It's kind of like... That's kind of like the only shtick. The only real main difference that the bosses tend to have. But again, those types of nitpicks and complaints, they could be the reason that this game is somebody's favorite. And I cannot deny that it's a great game. It's just like an 8.5 out of 10 for me. It is. It goes right in that line. WarioWare Smooth Moves. Honestly, I played this month. And it was something I didn't even anticipate to play. My roommate put it in to the Wii, played one level of it, and then went, you play. And then I played most of it because he was doing something else. So, yeah, it's WarioWare. It's a really good WarioWare. I played Get It Together, and I thought it was a great time. This is better than Get It Together. But Smooth Moves is fun. It has a lot of interesting ideas, a lot of weird mechanics. It is like 2 hours long. But let's be honest, when is a WarioWare game not 2 hours long? Am I right, fellas? And ladies? And all others? Am I right? Alright. This one is a doozy. So, I made a video on this game, Sonic Cross Shadow, and I've only touched the shadow portion, but damn, man. Damn, dude. Shadow got a lot of love here. These have some of the best boost levels in all of Sonic. Unfortunately, there are still quite a few 2D stages, but they're actually fully 2D stages that are separate from fully 3D stages. So there's no 2D segments in any of Shadow's first acts. They're all fully 3D, and they're all designed so fucking well, man. There's so many shortcuts. There's so many open areas that lead to more shortcuts. The visuals are great. The music is hit and miss. It upsets me that much to say that, but goddamn, everything else in Shadow Generations is legit, like, super well made. If you haven't played Sonic Generations, pick this up. If you have played Sonic Generations, still pick it up, because the Shadow stuff is genuinely that, like, it's that worth it. Especially if you only played games on consoles, you only played Sonic Generations on, like, Xbox and PS3, pick this up so you can get that 60 FPS Sonic Generations gameplay on top of fantastic new gameplay for Shadow Generations. And, man, just look at the game. Looks so good. Kingdom Valley looks great. Rail Canyon looks great. They made Sunset Heights a fun level. They turned one of the island levels from Sonic Frontiers and turned it into an actual point A to point B stage. That was pretty fucking cool. The only problem I had with it is that you are required to do all of the extra missions, which wasn't a thing in Sonic Generations, so I don't know. I mean, again, it's not that big of a deal. There's not that many, and they're very short, but still. I just like, not being forced to do all the extra stuff. Anyway, here we are. Ooh, boy, here we are. So, my friend Gray showed me this game after we played some Marvel Rivals. And this game is so fucking funny. So, think of Valorant and a little bit of Overwatch, but mainly Valorant. Think of Valorant and imagine turning into paper as a main gameplay mechanic. You stick to the walls, or you can just become flat. That's the main gameplay mechanic. And it's funny, and it's very weird and it's silly, but it's gotta be the worst thing I've played all year. I'm sorry, Gray. I had a lot of fun, and I still do have fun with this game. The game is fun, but in a stupid way. I think, objectively speaking, this game is kind of shit. Like, in terms of, like, there's so much about it that is, like, not good. And I can't fully describe it. Except I kind of can. So they literally steal map designs from other games. They have maps from TF2 and Overwatch in this game that they just stole and took, like, the more interesting stuff out of. So it's less interesting versions of those maps. You have stuff like Watchpoint Gibraltar in this, but it's not Watchpoint Gibraltar. You got Two Fort. There's a couple of others. There's probably a Valorant map in here somewhere, or a CSGO map in here that I just couldn't recognize. They stole maps, and they were very unapologetic about it. The characters themselves, their abilities are weird, interesting. Again, it's not unfun. The gunplay is not great. It's not terrible. I could get behind it relatively. And it's just a weird game. The paper mechanics actually kind of fun. I think the paper mechanics the best part of the game, but everything else about it is not very good. I can't be nice to it just because I had a fun time with friends. It's not a good. I don't think it's a good game. That being said, I'm definitely making a video on it, so look forward to that. All right, this is where my bias shows through again, except not really that much, because it is an 8 out of 10. The Repaint Your Heart DLC for Persona 5 Tactica. I picked this up early this year, and it had an interesting story. It wasn't bad. It had interesting gameplay mechanics as well, like the way the field changed based on the paint, where you're weak to everything when you're on paint, regardless of if you're in cover or not. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool idea. The map designs are neat, having a Akechi and Kasumi playable. It's very cool. Very cool stuff. And that's pretty much all I got. The story is okay. It's not bad. I don't know why the bird... The fucking bird's name is Jerry. It's very stupid. The story is... I don't know fully how to describe it, and I can't really spoil it. Pretty much, it has similar ideas to... Actually, very similar ideas to Persona 5 Tactica's main story. But Persona 5 Tactica's way of doing it, or not Tactica's, whatever, the DLC's way of doing it. The DLC's way of doing the Tactica type story was it was weird. Just know that there's some things that are going to happen in the story that you're going to be like, okay, and then when you get to the middle, you're going to be like, I get what's going on. And then you kind of get that all the way until the very end of it. And it's like 6 hours long. It's not a long DLC at all. It's very short. And that's part of the reason why it's here. It doesn't really feel like it does too much. It does add the challenge battles. Like, you get 5 extra bonus challenge battles that are very... Like, they're going to test you. Like, the final one stumped me for so goddamn long. But I got it. I beat all of them. Yeah, and then... Thankfully, the best thing about this DLC is that when you beat it, Akechi and Kasumi are playable in the main game. I don't know if it has to be a New Game Plus save to do it, or if you can do it on a brand new save file, but you get 2 new party members added to your squad upon beating this DLC. And unlike Tactica, this DLC does the thing where you leave and then forget everything happened. Like every spin-off game does. See, it's like an 8, 7.5, like, I don't know. I know people don't really like this DLC, but I had fun with it. And I think that's important. I think just acknowledging the fun you had is fine. You could be analytical about it every day of the week, but I had fun with it. Music's great, by the way. The battle music in this DLC is fantastic. All right, this indie darling that I still don't see people talk about that much. This game, I think, came out this year. It might have come out this year. I don't know. Gravity Circuit. This game is fucking cool. This game is pretty damn cool. Okay, you know what? I think Majora's Mask is going up to 9.5. I think I'm feeling 9.5 now. But Gravity Circuit, ooh man, Gravity Circuit was hella good, man. It was so good. It started off like a simple kind of like Mega Man X-esque type platformer where you had the basic abilities. It was more of a beat 'em up type thing, but still your movement options were great. You had a lot of things that you could do, go around, whatever. Like the basic stuff was neat, but the more you play through the game and the more you beat the other circuits, the more abilities you unlock and the more things you can buy with your tokens to put on your guy. Kai, I think his name is Kai. The more stuff you can put on Kai. And these abilities can be stacked with each other to make insane results. I had like a triple jump laser hover thing set up where like I can travel really long horizontal distances, and it was pretty damn fun. But then I found out more combat centric abilities that made beating the tiny guys better, and oh god, that synergy was so cool. I can't fully remember everything that like I had set up, but I just know while playing I had some things set up. I even did the boss rush. I don't think I did the final boss rush, but I did the normal one, I'm pretty sure. But just the way the game plays, once you unlock things to add to your arsenal, you can kind of customize Kai to work in most different scenarios, and you can adjust him if you're having trouble with levels. Oh, God. But yeah, Gravity Circuit, excellent. 9 out of 10 game. Good music, good visuals. Presentation's great. I would just definitely recommend this. If you haven't played Gravity Circuit or you haven't heard about it, play it, try it out, especially if you love 2D platformers and you like Mega Man or like NES style things. Definitely check it out if that is the case for you. Okay, we're getting closer to being done. This is one of the best games I've ever played. And it's crazy that two of the best games I ever played came out this year. Resident Evil 4 is insanely good. It is so good, man. How did they do that gameplay balance of being eerie, stressful, a little scary, with a bunch of different gameplay variety, fantastic gunplay, balancing of equipment, the inventory, just management of everything about this game is amazing. It is so good. It is campy, it is cheesy, it is one of the funniest stories in the entire, like, just in fiction, I would say. Like, the Resident Evil 4's story is so ridiculous, but it's great. Everything about this game is stellar, man. It is so good. All the battle arenas being interesting and having different ways to move around. Oh god, the weapons, the way the weapons feel. Oh my, dude, this game is awesome. I had a script written. I was going to do a whole video game talker video on it because I was like, oh, that's what I need to do on my YouTube channel right now. I need to make a scripted video with a lot of extra work done into it. But then I finished recording for the video, and I was not having a fun time making the video, so I stopped. I think I still have the audio, so maybe I'll come back to it. But, oh, Resident Evil 4. Stellar game. Fantastic. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Above Gravity Circuit? No, it's right here. Yeah, no, it's above it. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe definitely the best version of Kirby's Return to Dreamland. It makes it doesn't. I don't know if it makes the original obsolete, and I don't. And even if it did, I would still end up getting the original just because I want it. But yeah, Deluxe kind of does everything it really needed to do for a remake. And it's so weird that it's so stylized. It has great visuals, fantastic, like, just a slight change in the way the game's presented, and it looks 10 times better, and the game runs at 60 FPS, while Kirby Star Allies couldn't hit that, and it's a 2D Kirby game, and it looks better. Just wanted to point that out. Also, the mini games all being in the, what is it, Merry Magoland, I think that's what it's called. All the sub games are really fun. I don't know. It's just a good Kirby game. It's not my favorite. I think I have like 3 games ahead of this, but it's a very good 2D platformer, especially with some friends. The level design's not overly boring like it is in Star Allies, so you can have friends go fucking crazy with this. It's pretty great. Good music, good level themes. I don't know. It's not too much else to say. It's just a good game. And while Resident Evil 4 is absolutely one of the best games I have ever played, Resident Evil 3 is okay. I think... No. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Metal Slug X, I'm changing that to a 7. Resident Evil 3 Remake is a 7.5. It does not go to an 8. But I did have fun. I did have fun with this game. It was enjoyable. It was very short, which I kind of liked that it was short, but at the same time, I recognized that it kind of, rushes its plot all the way to the end. It's like, it feels like the last hour or two the game is rushing to finish, which feels weird. Carlos is funny. I like Jill a lot. Jill is one of my favorite Resident Evil characters. The main issue I have with this game is that they say fuck a lot. And it's like a lot. Like, it's noticeable. Normally in M-rated games, when you hear the word fuck, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it so much that it starts to become noticeable how much you hear it. In Resident Evil 3 Remake, I swear to God, it's in like every other sentence. It is baffling how much they say the word fuck in this game. It is crazy. But the gameplay itself was fun. It was like a stripped down version of Resident Evil 2 Remake. It didn't have as much interesting puzzles. It was kind of all straightforward, kind of what you needed to do. You kind of like go, oh, that's how it works. And then that's it. You kind of figured out the entirety of that area at that point. Resident Evil 2 had puzzles that made you have to kind of go back, wander around, check stuff again. And be like, okay, did I get everything? Do I have all the keys I need for the doors that I need to get to this extra point? Do I have all the answers? Did I find the documents that I needed to find to get some passcodes or whatever? It had you thinking more. This one really was just get the thing you need and then you move on. And again, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good. Nemesis was cool. I thought Nemesis was neat, but he wasn't that scary. It was just more slightly stressful because they put him in spots where I was already going. It didn't really feel like random, like, oh, there he is. He just showed up and found you. It was more so like, oh, we placed him here because you haven't seen him in a bit. So you're gonna get attacked. Yeah. I don't know. Good fun game, had a silly story. I had a great time. It was a fun casual time. But it's not anything outstanding. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Rumble. Goes right above Cuphead. I think Banana Rumble is stellar. There's 200 new Monkey Ball stages. They're new. And the game has a spin dash mechanic, and it's fun. This is a good monkey ball game. The physics feel better than Banana Mania did, and some of the multiplayer modes I haven't even tried, because honestly I just wanted more monkey ball, because I thought the spin dash mechanic was cool, and it is very cool. This is just, they did it. A good monkey ball. Good monkey ball game. Like a good new one. And because that's all I really wanted. It's a Switch exclusive, which I think is a little weird, because Banana Mania and Banana Blitz HD went on all platforms. Banana Rumble is Switch only. But, you know, good game. Has a lot of things you can do, a lot of stuff you can buy, a lot of achievements you can go for. Each level has like 3 achievements and a golden banana to collect. I think one of the achievements in every level is collect the golden banana. But Banana Rumble, overall, great game. A lot of fun. If you want good monkey ball, Banana Rumble's good. If you haven't played any monkey ball, it's not a bad starting spot. I think 1 and 2 on the GameCube are better, but I think Banana Rumble scratches that itch for a modern monkey ball. Alrighty, Street Fighter 6 is my second favorite Street Fighter game. It is a lot of fun. Street Fighter 6 is so good, and they're adding Elena to the game from Street Fighter 3. And Street Fighter 3 is my favorite Street Fighter, so I'm excited for that character. But Street Fighter 6 kind of combines the traditional Street Fighter gameplay with stuff from 3S and puts it together like in a seamless way that is very respectful to old players and new players. It tries to get people to come into the game with more leeway while also warning people that played the older games. The way that the I don't fully remember what it is. I think burnout meter. The way the burnout meter works, where you can take, I think, 2 bars to parry, but if it's a successful parry, you get like 1 of those bars back. The balance of the meter for parrying to make it a more central mechanic for people that for more people to understand and easily be accessible to. It makes sense. It's a good way to streamline and it's a good way to streamline the parry mechanic from 3S and make it into a mechanic that people can understand and pick up. Because in 3S, if you didn't learn how to parry, you had trouble. Because some people did know how to parry, and then they just beat your ass. But in Street Fighter 6, it really feels like parry is something that is not a thing to be fully relied on, but something to add to your arsenal. It's a kind of thing for the characters to do that can give them either more of their drive meter or just like give them a comeuppance in battle. And it's a fun mechanic. Same goes for Drive Impact and Drive Rush. I think it's very cool that you can use the drive meter and like running forward alongside your regular dash to continue a combo on top of Drive Impact just being used to set up for stuff. I don't know, man. Street Fighter 6 is really fun. That's just the basic mechanics. The way the characters play are fantastic. I personally love playing Juri. I really want to learn how she works. I'm probably going to be mainly playing Elena when she comes out. And again, I haven't played this much online. I mainly played this local because I'm not great at finding games online. I want to get better at them, though. But yeah, overall, I keep saying yeah, overall, like multiple times. The game is great. Has great character designs. I love like half of the new characters. I was going to say a lot, and then I thought about them. I only really like... No, I mean, I guess I like most of them. Now that I think about it. I like Lily. I like Kimberly. I like Manon. I like JP. It's really Marissa And is it just Marissa? Who else is it? There's like another new character in there, right? I don't know. Marissa's like helmet design on her head is a little like for hair is a little weird. I don't mind how the character plays though. I think overall I like some of the new characters. I don't really care for Luke, I guess. Jamie's cool. Yeah, I like most of the new cast. I think they're good. Overall, it's like a 9 out of 10 game. It's not my favorite Street Fighter. That'll always be 3S, but Street Fighter 6 this is right up there. It adds like that footsie gameplay that I love so much. It's there and it's fun. I believe it's a footsier game. If it's not, I'm playing the game wrong. All right, this one was baffling to me, to say the least. This one was a weird one. Sonic Superstars. It's like a 7. It's a 7 out of 10 game. It's not bad. But it's not good. It's not like there's nothing really interesting going on with it. The multiplayer doesn't work that well because the game is so zoomed in that when either you or your friend are going fast, one of you's getting fucked over. One of you's just not going to be able to play. And the camera tracking is pretty damn bad. The Emerald Powers, I think, is a good idea. I didn't end up using them that much. Maybe that was me not finding the shortcuts that required me to use them, but at the same time, I didn't really feel like I wanted to use them because opening them up through a menu is kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie. But I understand why it's there because they put 7 power-ups in it. Like, Jesus, my God. The characters don't play that differently. The levels, the zones aren't super interesting. They're kind of like, they're new for the most part, but they're like lesser versions of zones you've seen before, I guess. Visually, it looks okay. I don't think the game looks bad. The physics are pretty good. They're pretty accurate. The boss fights suck. This game has terrible bosses because classic Sonic bosses are like at most a minute long. These last for like 2 to 3 minutes a piece. It's rough each time, and it feels like some of them don't work. Some of these bosses just don't work properly. It's not a good time. It's just not. I didn't even play the new story for the new character once you beat the game once. I just really did not want to play the game again. I might go back to it at some point. But overall, Sonic Superstars is like a 7. It's just kind of like, it's not bad. It's not even like mid. It's like good, but it's not doing anything spectacular. I'm not impressed. It's like this is not what Mania was made to become, I guess. All right, then we got like the most hyped one probably for this whole thing because I made a whole big deal about it over on my streams. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. This was a game that took me months to finish. I started it this year. I've never played many of the Paper Marios. I played Paper Mario 64 last year, and if you watch my video on ranking every game there, I thought it was good. It was like an 8 out of 10 for me. I think I had it on like my 14th spot out of all the games I played that year. Good game. I liked it. It's a good time. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is a great time. It is insane how much of a glow up The Thousand-Year Door was to the original Paper Mario. Paper Mario 64 wasn't bad, but I think what held it back for me was the plot. The plot of Bowser kidnaps Peach, but now it's in a different kind of way. A little bit. Wasn't super interesting to me. He had the Star Rod or something. I don't even remember what happens in that game. But the Thousand-Year Door literally starts you off seeing a noose and gallows in a town called Rogueport. It's just away from the Mushroom Kingdom, but Like it still feels like Mario. The world is still kind of like built like it is Mario, and they put you through all these different locations. You meet all these different characters. Different things happen. Bowser's not even the main not even the main bad guy there. It's the X-Nauts in this game. And the characters have their own telling stories that, while not deep, they're very fun. They make me love the characters. I absolutely adore almost every single character that was here. I didn't like Watt at all. I hated Watt at all. Like, I hated Watt in general in Paper Mario 64. I hated Watt in Paper Mario 64. I had no use for him. He was just a baby little electric guy, and I did not give a fuck about him. He didn't even have good writing. I just thought he was lame. In the Thousand Year Door, I think the character I liked the least, at least in terms of main party members, is probably Madame Fleury. But she's not even, like, bad. I just didn't really care as much about her as I did the others. Same goes for Miss Mouse, but Miss Mouse is at least funny. You have like good interactions with her before she can get added to the party. And the badge system, the way the badges work in this game is crazy. I'm sure badges like this existed in Paper Mario 64. I was just bad at the game, but I did a mainly badge points only build for Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, and Mario gets fucking strong. But it did make the fights a cakewalk. Some of the last fights were still very difficult because of the way the damage numbers worked. But man, Mario is just a powerhouse. You can make Mario insanely strong. And some of the badges are just crazy. Like, just the strategies you can do with them are insane. I had so much fun trying to figure out what to do with my Mario. He eventually became like a strength charge kind of build for him, and it was very fun, very cool. I'm excited to go do the Pit of 100 Trials twice and the extra fights in revisiting Chapter 3. When I finished it, I was like, it's a 9 out of 10, but the more I'm like reminiscing on it, I only beat it like a good few days ago. Damn, this game is great. It's like a 9.5 for me. This game is fantastic. Did I like it more than Majora? Astrobot is sticking like above these two, 100%. But did I like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door more than Majora's Mask? No. I thought about some of the side quests in Majora, and it got me thinking about some of those moments those characters have. I think Majora is better. But this is the list. This is the list of every game I've played this year. Thank you for watching on the stream. This was going to be a short one. I didn't want to go for like super long because I mainly wanted to do this as like my end of year type thing. We might still stream some other stuff before the year ends, but right now I just wanted to get this done so I have the footage. I can start working on the first video of 2025. And thank you for watching this video. I have a lot of plans going in for this year, and by a lot, I mean a limited amount of videos released, but they're going to be higher quality, and like I'm going to focus on quality more than trying to get videos out. And I very much want to thank all of you for sticking around. You're going to get the same thanks in the best of 2024 video, but I just want to thank you all for sticking around and joining me on this journey. You've made it to a point where I can start to try harder on making stuff for YouTube, because now I have a small little following that we can try to grow, and I'm so excited to move forward and do this. So again, thank you so much. Have yourselves a great night. And that goes for you too as well, stream. Have a good night. This was a very short one. It was very chill. Thank you for stopping by if you did. I will see you later.